Hello. This video is about complex tolerances. Part of EasyRec samples, we do have an out-of-the-box example. So File, Open Project, I go to Samples and select Demo Tolerance with Excel rules. The data here are irrelevant. It's just basic example to illustrate what I would like to show you. So here, as you can see, we have different entities, different currencies, different portfolio, different counterparts. In a previous example, I've shown you the capacity to do adjust tolerance and to define basic tolerance. Basic tolerance is, for instance, to define a relative tolerance, a percentage tolerance, or if you want, you can mix and/or combination to mix like a relative with percentage tolerance. What I want to highlight here is the need for much more complex tolerance. Just to illustrate this, this is obvious that if you define a relative tolerance, knowing that here in this example you have different currencies, it does not make sense, because if you define a tolerance of 10 on euro or GPY, it has different business definitions. So definitely this is a good starting point to say, okay, you have different currencies, so you would like to define at least specific tolerance per currency. This is a starting point. But the business will say, okay, but in my extraction, I do have like production portfolio, but maybe I do have also test portfolio. And the same thing, they can push this logic a bit far and to say, okay, but I also have like specific counterparts. I say that they want a minimum tolerance, or let's say no tolerances, but some other counterparty are like less restrictive and say, I want a tolerance of, let's say, 10 or 100 or 1%, I don't know. So the requirements can be much complex than to define a basic tolerance. So just to illustrate what we have, right-click, adjust tolerance. I'm not going to discuss about basic tolerance, but much about the advanced tolerance. In my case, Excel decision table is the best choice for these specific requirements. We do have class, which is very powerful because it's a code which is compiled, but it's difficult to maintain. Same thing for Java Groovy. All those are specific for XML reconciliation. For numeric, it's a quick win reconciliation and also quick win for string. But now let's just discuss about Excel decision table. So here, as you can see here, it's any Excel document can fit if it is like a table representation and you have two outputs, like a 2 column at the end, named role output, role priority. The rest is the basic Excel table. So if I open this, you can see the color doesn't matter, it's just the color to highlight that we have, this is input data and this is output data. How does it work? You can use any column that you have in any order. You don't have to keep this specific order. So here I decide to use the entity, the currency, the portfolio, and the counterpart. But you can limit yourself to 2 columns or 3 columns or 1 column, it doesn't matter. The main advantage is that here it works as the best matching. So it's if the entity is Asia, if my currency is euro, yes, any portfolio, any counterpart, I will use tolerance 1 or 1%. It's very easy to understand. If, for instance, you have entity Asia, currency USD, then you will take entity Asia, currency USD, any portfolio, any counterpart. If it's entity New York for a specific portfolio, like portfolio A, counterparty A, it will take this one. It works as the best matching logic. The thing is, entity New York appears here, but also appears here. So the risk is that, for instance, this will be selected before this one. And this is why we have introduced a rule priority. So rule priority means the rules with the highest priority, so lower number is highest priority. So the rules with priority 1 will be evaluated first, then priority 2, 3, etc. until you reach the lowest priority. If you pay attention here, this one is always blank. So always blanks means true, 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 true. So it will always be evaluated as true. So the risk is that this rule will be evaluated before this one. And to do that, you assign to this rule the lowest priority. This is extremely easy to understand. very simple to share with the business or to maintain, and even to simplify the potential configuration of this matrix, it does support wildcard pattern. So you can even say you put a wildcard here, so it means that everything that ends with _euro will be a match pattern here. Same thing for this. All the counterparties that start with CTP will be evaluated as true in this match pattern. So thanks to this, for each specific line, it will evaluate this best matching, take the rule output tolerance, consider the priority to assign the correct tolerance, and then evaluate if it's a match or if it's not a match. One thing that an issue you can face is that imagine you have reached a quite complex Excel decision table, and then for one reason you don't know why you have a match here. For example, you don't know why you have a match here, and you would like to understand what is the tolerance behind this, because as you can see here, orange means that it's not a match, and these two lines, it's a match. But you have no reason why this is a match compared to this one. So if you pay attention to the configuration, so right click here, let's shift right click to access this menu, template wizard. As you can see, we have defined a tolerance like this, advanced Excel decision table, and we do have this Excel document here. So the idea is that we have created a dummy column here, which is always blank, but actually we say that we have defined a mapping here, and we have used exactly the same document. So the same Excel document for the tolerance, we have assigned this same document here and define it as a mapping. So the feature you have for the tolerance, we have the same feature as for the mapping, but the thing is, instead of evaluating the tolerance, it displays the content of the field. So you can see directly, it's a kind of way to debug if you want. So you can visualize that the tolerance here behind this record is 10 or 1%, and this is why this is a match. And here it's 2 or 1%. So using Excel decision table, it's a very good way if you have like complex tolerance to configure, because it's easy to define, easy to maintain, easy to share with the business. If the business say you have a new condition, you just have to do right click, insert column, and you can insert the column wherever you want. It will apply the corresponding logic.